Hello and welcome, it's the 13th of October. Autumn is most definitely here. Although it's sunny today, it was miserable yesterday and it's cold. The cold is definitely creeping in. Time for the hats, return of the scruffy winter coat, hand warmers, muddy boots. You can definitely tell when it's autumn, when the geese say, I've had enough of this, I'm off. Right, so what we've still got growing at the allotment in October, we've obviously got the apples, turning a beautiful red colour there. I'm just taking a few a week, hanging onto the tree. If it starts getting a lot more windy and the windfall increases, I'm going to start taking more, but at the minute just a few a week to keep us going. Pumpkins, we'd had two already off the plant, just little jack-o'-lantern pumpkins. There was two remaining on the plant, but the plant had died back, so time to cut them off, get rid of the plant and put them in the shed/greenhouse for ripening. On ripening we've got some tomatoes as well, so I took some plants up a few weeks back, hung them upside down in the shed to ripen. Some of them were showing signs of what could have been blight, so I got rid of them, but there's a few plants left there hanging upside down with the tomatoes ripening, giving us a few tomatoes every week. We've got an aubergine in the greenhouse. I'm not sure if it's getting any bigger, but it's definitely getting more beautiful, so that's going to stay on the plant for the time being. We've got some chilies, harvested a chili last week, beautiful red colour, chili shake I think that one was. I've no idea what this is. It's either some big jalapenos or some kind of pepper that I must have sown, but we'll keep our eyes on that, see what happens with that. We've got some basket of fire chilies, plenty of those. We just need some more of this autumn sun to help them ripen. And we've also got some hot lemon chilies that are still green. We just need to make sure that they turn yellow and ripen. You can eat them while they're green, but they taste a lot better when they're ripe and nice and yellow. Got the onions that I harvested a couple of months back, storing and curing in the shed/greenhouse at the back there, developing a nice sort of dry outer coating to help them store longer. Once you take that dry skin off them, they look beautiful, And there's still plenty more of those to keep us going for the next couple of months, I think. And also we've got a load of root vegetables, so we've got some beetroot, we've got some parsnips, we've got some turnips, hopefully some swede, so let's have a quick look at those now. So with the root veg, we're going to start with probably the most disappointing and work our way up. These swede were sown at the start of July. There are a lot of problems with slugs and stuff. They just don't look big, and I just cannot imagine that these are going to be any good. Now, the variety is called Best of All. I guarantee there won't be. They just don't look. None of them look like they've got anything good going on under the soil. So let's have a look. As you can see, they just haven't developed. Time to move on. Onwards and upwards. Parsnips. Hollow crown parsnips sown in April. We already dug some of these up, so we know that they should be okay. Right, some smaller than others, but generally decent enough size. Time to move on to the turnips. Right, these are purple top Milan turnips, sown at the start of July. You can see these are breaking the surface of the soil, so you can see which ones are big and which ones aren't. So let's take a couple of big ones. Look at those. There's some towards the back that might not get to that size, but we have definitely got some decent turnips there. We'll pick a couple more and then move on to the beetroot. Right, we've got two types of beetroot here. We've got Boltardi there and Chioggia there. So we sowed these at the start of July. We've been taking these out of the ground. We know they're decent. There's some beauties in there, so let's get a little bit closer to the action. There's the Boltardi. Now on to the Chioggia. Get rid of that leaf. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Bonus Chioggia action. Oh, this is perhaps the biggest. Perhaps the biggest. I know you're supposed to sort of have these when they're golf ball sized, but I don't think they've gone too woody yet, so all good on the beetroot front. But as some crops continue, and some of them might be near the end of cropping, there's other stuff that is finished. Sweet corn, they started to get nibbled by wildlife. I think when autumn comes and food becomes more scarce, you do get animals eating stuff, so sweet corn is now gone. I've kept the green bean frame up. There isn't hundreds of beans on there. We're getting literally a handful a week, so it's slowing down as autumn progresses. Still flowers on that, and there's still a few little beans on there, so I'm going to keep that up for the time being because it's still producing at the minute, albeit a lot slowed down since we've exited summer. I decided to take my fennel down. That had gone to seed. It's been there, it's probably been there a year. With fennel, obviously you can eat the leaves, the foliage, and you can harvest the bulbs, but they'd gone to seed and the bulbs were basically just roots, so time for them to go. So a couple of different sweet peas. There's a couple of sweet peas that have just popped up. I think they're self-seeded. They hadn't flowered yet, so I decided to put them in a pot, put them in the greenhouse to overwinter, cut them right back. Hopefully they will start to bloom next spring. We've got some sweet peas that had flowered this year, albeit a bit late, so we've had plenty of flowers from that. Time for that to go. Just clearing stuff out. I've got a glass frame that has been there to protect my seedlings. That was starting to look a little bit tired. It got blown about by some wind, so that wasn't really doing that much. So time for that to be cleared out. So the plot's starting to look a little bit more empty, a little bit more bare if you like, but that's just autumn. That's just autumn. That's what happens. It doesn't really bother me. In fact, you know, taking up that fennel, I could have left it. So, you know, it's a lot better for me. Just nothing looks tired and old. If it starts to get too wet and ground's waterlogged, I'll pull up all my root vegetables. There's no point in just being there in the winter, just going rotten. So autumn for me and winter, it's time to do things. I can fix the edges of my beds, we haven't seen the last of those glass frames that I took up. They're destined for another project. And recently got my hand on some pallets. There's a building site opposite the allotment. The allotment committee came to an arrangement, and I've got 4 massive long pallets and 2 smaller pallets. £10 for the lot. You can't argue with that, can you? They're destined to make a new compost heap in the very near future. So autumn growing season is, let's say, at an end. It's time for the next phase of the allotment year, which is maintenance, fixing things up and doing a bit of building. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. Click subscribe, send me a comment. I'll see you next time. Cheers.